Well, I'm finally here. Hopefully you can hear me. Chat filter. All. Okay. Hello and welcome to Restore Belief with Nikki. I am Nikki Jacobs. Psychic medium, ET abductee. What else? A lot of other things. That's what else. Okay, gotta make it sure so I'm not yelling. Okay. Anyhow, I'm a few minutes late. I do apologize. Situations, hence the reason for the red cheeks, because hustling the butt to get here. Anyhow, let me grab my notebook, because my notebook's got it in there. So, today's topic of discussions, there's going to be a few of them, but this is short in the grand scheme of things. This is not going to be a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hour live stream. This is somewhere between an hour to 2 hours, mostly because of my health. So anyhow, I'm here finally. Disheveled, but I'm here. So I had an unexpected speaking of which, visitors. Astral. As most of you know, I have astral visitors. That's fun. Usually it can be, if it's the right person or right people. Unfortunately, these are what I call government asshats, for those who don't know. So they're back at it again, and I just went, alrighty, we're done. I'm calling in favors. Because I'm done with these folks. I'm done with dealing with government asshats in astral coming into my home to be a freaking perv. And Johnny boy, I told you that if you continue to come into my home in astral, I will out your ass. And guess what? I'm calling you by your first name, and I'm calling you Johnny, not your given. Let's put it that way. Anyway, stay out of my home in astral, Mr. CIA. Or I will call in more favors from the other side. Because, like I said, I'm done. I'm done dealing with you. Anyway, you guys are perverts. You come in and you watch, and what is meant by astral, to me, everything not in the physical would be encompassed by the astral, even though I know it's more complex than that. Yes. Hi, Amy. Thank you for asking the question. So, first of all, this is going to be ET based. We've got this situation going on, so that's astral. It's government based. 111 on the numbers. Hello, folks. There were 17 and now there are 11. So anyway, then I had a deceased, was retired, official government individual, who I will name eventually, come to talk to me last night. Shocked the hell out of me. I mean, I was like, because that's what I start doing. And so he came to give me a message, and I just, where the hell was I at the time? Oh, I was laying in bed. I was listening to music, internet music. I can't get brain to think about it right now. Baby Trench. I can't even read that right now. It says hi. Hello. Anyway, so, and then I want to talk about genetics. ET human genetics. So that's what the subjects are tonight. But Amy has asked a very good question. So astral is when you go out of your body. It's different than higher conscious. It's very different than higher consciousness. Just Trench. Okay. Hi, Trench. How you doing? So it's literally you ground your soul to the earth. You center your energy, and if you're capable, you go out of body. And out of body is a form of astral. And hello, 34 and 5. Hi. So basically, that's it in a nutshell. You are connected to your body via a soul cord. And by doing that, you are, oh, thank you for subscribing. Thank you, Trench. I appreciate that. So when you go out of body, that is typically what takes place. You are connected to your soul, which is in your core of your body. That's how I think of it. And it's connected to your soul, and which is all connected to your higher consciousness. It's connected to your brain. And when you go out of body, your physical body stays put, but you go out wherever you want to go, whether it's space or, hey, kitty cattywhack, how you doing, hun? Whether it's out into space and into our galaxy, or in anywhere across the earth, or underwater. Hello, underwater without drowning. Have you thought of that? That's a heck of a thought. You can go anywhere, or almost anywhere, as long as the location that you go to isn't highly protected in a very specific way. Like certain government facilities are highly protected. They will have either astral protectors, psychic protectors, or ETs that they're working with, and they will have that. Is that Croatia? Trench, is that I'm trying to recognize the flag that you put in. Anyway, welcome. So that's what it means. Amy, do you understand? Let me know in the chat if you get what I'm talking about. So that's basically it in a nutshell. These guys have the ability. They have not only, most of them have psychic abilities, but all of the ones that are coming and going from my home, they are either military CIA or CIA. Philippines. Okay, I did not. See, that's not a flag that I recognize. I mean, visually recognize. That's what I mean. Hello, you get what I'm saying. Anyway, so thank you. Thank you for coming in. So, Amy, does that make sense to you? So they're coming in. They could be matter of fact, I used to know people in high school that could be walking the corridors of the halls and would, oh my God, if I talk about this, am I going to end up with, okay, I'm going to just talk about it anyway. Heck with the consequences. So there were people that I knew that could walk the corridors of the high school and be partially out of body or all the way out of body so that they could navigate. Pretty freaking ingenious, if you ask me. I mean, that's pretty impressive. So, and it's not disassociation. There's a difference between disassociation and astral. We're not getting into that tonight. I don't have the patience for describing disassociation. That's a different ballgame. If it makes sense, it makes sense so far. I just need a way to find a powerful industrials. Amy, we're not going there tonight. Not live, not on. That's not okay. We'll have a conversation hopefully after I was going to call this a show. This is not a show. After the live stream. I don't consider this a show. Anyway, Miss Emma. Hey, Miss Emma Peel. The Avengers. A different form of Avengers. British form. Hello, how you doing? So anyway, so that is what it deals with, okay? So these guys are coming in typically from, well, no, that's not accurate. Sometimes they come in from their work, their place of business, their work environment. Sometimes they come in from their homes. Sometimes they're coming in, well, one of them came in from their vehicle. And I don't talk about that. I don't give two shits. But anyway, oh, LA Addicts, how you doing? Nikki, hello, love. I'm glad you're feeling better from the oh my God, yeah. Yeah, that was wicked. Not this past week, the week before that. God, that was bad. That was really, really bad. So the cheeks are red because I've been rushing and getting stuff done. So that's why we got the funny red cheeks right now. My body's trying to come down. So that's what they're doing. Oh, hey Cheryl, how you doing, hun? That's what is taking place. And so these guys are coming into my home and they're being pervy. They're looking in. I have a boring freaking life. Are you kidding? You're coming in to see what the hell I'm doing? I'm home. That's what I'm doing. I'm home. But like last night when I was laying in bed listening to, oh God, I can't even remember what the music was, but I was listening to music. I was on my phone, laying in bed, and I was getting ready to shut everything down and put my phone way away from me and go to sleep. And I had Mr. Harry Reid. And I had to spell it phonetically because my brain wasn't going to let me at the time. So, of course, I spelled it R-E-E-D. And I went, I know this person. And he's like, I'm still here. And I'm like, I know you're still here. And he outright told me, he goes, keep doing the good work that you're doing. I practically started bawling. Keep doing the good work that you're doing. He said, you are being watched heavily. Your name is in rooms that I can't eat. I can't remember how he phrased it. It was something along the lines of he's still being security kind of situation, even from the other side. And the man passed a number of years ago. I mean, not that long ago, but enough within the last what? Oh crap, less than 10 years. I'm going to say, because I can't think of the exact number right now. And he said, not only are you being watched, he went into some detail. And he told me to keep talking about what I'm talking about because I'm making waves in government, in not only deep government, but up in the upper regular levels. And I'm like, what? It really shocked the hell out of me. Yes, R-E-I-D. And it really, so Amy had asked the former Nevada Senator, Harry Reid. Yes, that's the one. But the last name is spelled R-E-I-D. Matter of fact, I was going to read to you exactly what it was that he had said to me, but I didn't. Too many things went on today. And I was trying to get as many notes written down as possible off of my phone so that I could let you guys know. I was stunned. I mean, I was just, I'd say color me stunned, but hello, I'm bright pink right now. So, yeah, what do you take away from that? It blew me out of the water. Matter of fact, I kept calling him Mr. Reed, and he's like, no. You call me Harry. Please call me Harry. And I went, wow, okay, thank you. And he was very nice. I really appreciated talking to Harry. I'm just about to call him Mr. Reed. And it made waves in my soul what he said to me. I mean, this was a big deal. To be told that the things that I'm talking about are making waves in government, I'm like, it kind of, I was humbled. I was really humbled by it. People are taking notice. And I know that I'm not the only one that people are taking notice of regarding what is taking place. And for whatever reason, even though I'm not showing my my photographs and what I know, I mean, I did earlier. If you go back in, that's right. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Good evening, Nikki. Hi, hon. How you doing? You're back. Hey, Trench. So I'm just astounded, absolutely astounded to hear that. Let alone, I mean, he stayed for quite a number of minutes. He wasn't just in and out. He was, and he goes, "You're getting tired," and I'm like, "I am," because I didn't want to get into that, but it's just, it was so stunning. And now I wonder if he was asked to come to me because I had a former president come to me, and his wife, his how do I say that? They're both deceased. Boy, they did not look like. I had President Kennedy come talk to me, and I call her Miss Jackie. And wow, she didn't want the Kennedy name. She was like, "No, I am Miss Bouvier." And I'm like, "You got it." So when you have people like that coming to talk to you openly on a live broadcast or live stream, I was on a different show at the time. I was on the S4 bunker when that took place. Robert was the one who made me aware it was it. He's like, "Well, it kind of looks like Elvis did back in the day." And I'm like, "Oh dear God." And he showed me a picture. I'm like, "Oh my God, that's not Elvis. That's Mr. Kennedy." And that was when, because I felt her. I didn't feel him. But yet then when he put his hand on my shoulder, I didn't mean to get into all this. When he put his hand on my shoulder, I was like, okay, that I felt. And that was when I registered that it was him. I started seeing, I don't know how to say this, parts of him. It's like I could see, it's like his face was fuzzy. I could see his hair. Robert said he was in uniform. When I was seeing him, he wasn't in uniform. He was in like a kind of like a blue black suit type of thing. But Robert saw him behind me, right here, right behind me, in his military uniform, and very young. It took me quite a while to find the right picture of him, and I went, "Is this exactly what you?" And Robert was like, "Yeah, that's what I saw." And I went, "Okay." So when you have, because I was engrossed in what we were talking about. We were talking at the time on the S4 paranormal bunker. Sorry, I always forget the paranormal part. Anyway, S4 paranormal bunker. We were talking about that night. Because we were talking about a specific movie. What is it called? 11/23/63, I think is the movie. And it's where they go in the movie, they go back in time and try to save the president. And we had a conversation about that. And it got really in depth. And Miss Jackie showed up. Well, I felt them. I don't know how to. It was the two of them combined is what I felt. I felt their energy combined, and it felt like somebody really big was in my room, was in my bedroom. Because this is where I was going to say broadcast. I live stream from my bedroom because I have a closed door and I'm not disturbing the other tenants in the building or the apartment. So that's a big deal. Yeah. So, and then to have, and I've had other I've had other really big names come talk to me, and I was asked to make a promise to never divulge who it was. I've never divulged who it was, and I won't. But it's because of that person in spirit form. It's because of that specific person that I learned that these presidents, these upper, I don't know what to call, upper echelon individuals, they come with significant hierarchy angels. I mean, we're not talking regular angels here. They come with hardcore protection. And it's because of that individual that I learned that. And that's what I felt originally. I felt 616 on the numbers. I felt, they came with a number of angels, let's put it that way. I'm not saying how many, but they each had a specific number of angels. And it was really shocking to me. So when you have somebody like Mr. Harry Reid show up and start talking to you, it still stuns me that these folks on the other side are coming to talk to me about pretty significant information. Sorry, I just got a wave of emotion because of Mr. Kennedy. It was like, wow, it's just hitting me. It hit me back then when it happened, but it's hitting me again. And I know my hormones have been up. I've been going through the lovely little hot flashes. Isn't that fun? That's not what this is. This is something different. Thank God it's not one of those. I wouldn't be on if it were one of those. But that's the thing. You got significant people coming in from government that were once in government. They come with. See, when he showed up, I didn't register that he had an angel with him. You know, that's an excellent question, Cheryl. Never asked. I never thought to ask that. If I ever get the opportunity, that is photographic memory. Okay, making note of this question. So yeah, I've had some big names, and it's just I've had a couple of real majors. Let's put it this way, stars. I'm just going to call them that because I'm not going to name. That's just not. I'm not going there. The other ones I will, but I won't. Miss Marilyn, she doesn't mind. I know she's. I think the other reason it's hitting me hard right now is because I'm thinking of them as a family. Because I've talked to all three. And the young one, he should not have gone. But anyway, that's enough of that. So the fact that somehow I'm making waves, that's a big deal. That's a really big deal. It means that the information that I'm talking about is valid. So that information that I'm talking about, we're going to get right into it right now. Excuse me, so I don't have a tear streaming down the, starting to feel it. And I'm like, no, we're not going to get a stupid tear down the face. There we go. All right, so we're going to get right into this. One of the things that I asked today, here's questions no one has been able to answer yet. Do the Joint Chiefs of Staff have knowledge of the SSP, secret space programs? Does the President, past and present, of the United States actually have knowledge of the SSP, secret space program? If none of them do, then who exactly is the governing, controlling body of SSP? Who in the U.S. government is controlling their version or their portion of SSP? I'm not asking about any other country because I live in the United States. I'm asking about the United States because I'm having issues with certain individuals from there. So that's why I'm asking, who in government, is it the Joint Chiefs of Staff? This got brought to my attention early this afternoon. And I'm not going to tell you how. But does the Joint Chief of do the Joint Chiefs of Staff have knowledge of the SSP? Does the president, any president, past and present, of the United States actually have knowledge of SSP? And if none of them do, who? And why would the president not have that knowledge? And why would the Joint Chiefs of Staff not have that knowledge? That gets into some real serious stuff here. I understand there's a trickle down. There's a major trickle down effect. I get that. Oh, hey, Para. I'm not repeating that one, Para. That was pretty good. Oh, hey, Clara. Okay, hang on a minute. I've had stuff I haven't read here. Do you all... That's right is asking, do you have all the stuff written down? Will they come and visit you? What's talked about? I haven't had anybody visit me in person, let's put it that way. And I'm thanking God for that. Because if I do, it means I'm in serious trouble. Very serious trouble. But I get them coming to me in astral. And they think that by using their microwave weapons to try to unalive me, to try to get my brain to forget. So I'm being targeted real specific. I didn't mean to get into targeting either tonight. I'm being targeted real specifically. And I know the individuals who are. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Hang on one second. I knew there was something else. Hang on, guys. Okay. So, and the reason I'm getting into this, LA Addicts is saying, speaking of writing it down, I would totally read a book written by you, Nikki. Thank you for that. That actually means a lot. I've got records of everything. I'm keeping records of everything, and I'm making sure that others have different knowledge so that if anything does happen to me, because I'm not going to unalive myself. I will say it time and time again. If I'm dead, it'll probably be because of targeting in one form or another. I will not allow myself to die. This is too important to talk about, to bring forth, to stand in front of Congress. I will not allow myself, I will fight it in every way I can. I refuse to go down. I will fight with everything I have. That said, so in SSP, what I have learned because of other people, and thank God for them, because I would not have known this piece of information. When you are being MK Ultra'd, I was MK Ultra'd at 8 years old. One of the things that they set you up for is so that you may be having memories of breakthrough memories or bleed through memories, as sometimes they're called in psychology, of people. But you, in SSP, you will not remember faces. You will register voices. You'll register bodies, body shapes, but you will not remember faces. Guess what? Because of a specific situation that happened in SSP that traumatized me so badly, I remember a real military officer. The man is a retired, and I wasn't going to do this, but I am now. The man is a retired admiral. What kind of consequences do I want to see happen to the two men that I can name? I have remembered their first, middle, last names, their rank at the time that I knew them. Yeah, I know this is making me even more of a targeted individual. I get that. But if I'm being watched that significantly as Harry had said I am, and I am making waves, oh, we're going to make more waves, folks. We're going to make a lot more waves. Do you know what kind of consequences I want them because of what they did in SSP? I want them removed. I want them stripped of their rank and all of their retirement because of what they did in SSP. Now, I'm not out hunting. I'm not doing that. But I have said if I were in a skiff and attorneys have told me it is safe for me to divulge those names, then I will. And I don't just have those names written down or typed up in different locations. They're all over the place. I made sure that that information will not be forgotten. He had somebody murdered in front of my eyes because I brought one specific individual is what I really want done. That's what I want done. I have other choice things I would like done, but that's me being vicious. But legally, I want these two men, I want their ranks stripped from them and their entire financial wiped clean. Make them find a different way to make income. Oh, and if they're still alive, put them in the brig. Put them in prison for the rest of their frickin' lives. They're old men already. I don't give two shits. The crap that they did, I brought back men and women alive. I was a pilot in SSP. I brought back people alive. I wasn't supposed to do that, apparently. And my consequences were having my partner murdered in front of me. That's not okay, folks. That's absolutely not okay. It wasn't just that, but that's the tip of the iceberg. So we're not supposed to bring people back alive. Funny how he was in military telling other real officers in military who were in SSP that you brought people back. And yet for us, no. I take great issue with that. That was deliberately done to make a point. Yeah, and it horribly traumatized me. I still have issues with that. Anyway, so if I'm making waves, hello, let's make them. All right. That is the government stuff. Now, onto some, to me, very interesting and other things that regard ET abductions. Regular, well, not regular. What the hell do you call it if it's not regular? Okay, hang on a minute. Or, That's right is asking, what did they do when you're 8 years old? Oh, hang on a second. I'm about to burp. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh, hey, Lauren. How you doing, hun? Okay. What did they do? So that's right is asking, what did they do when you're 8 years old, they go to your house and say, hey, we need to talk to Nikki, and they took you away from your parents? No. Okay, so for those that don't know, I was in elementary school in Washington State, where I live. At the time, I was in Seattle, Washington. I was in an elementary school in the second grade. They asked my mom, this is typical of the GATE program. GATE is GATE, it's all caps, periods in between each letter. GATE, Gifted and Talented Education Program. Okay. There's two sides to the GATE program. One is a legitimate program for gifted and talented individuals. Another side, a second side to the GATE program is it's not SSP. Yes, Mr. Dunham. Hi, hello. Yes, thank you for posting that in there. And it was controlled by the CIA. Now, I'm still learning and trying to get more information as to who created this section of it. This was done, supposedly this program was created to specifically target children, because children have, 2020 on the numbers, 40 and then 2020. Wow. Sorry. So specifically to target children, to find specific children who had certain abilities, certain knowledge, certain awarenesses. Usually they were dyslexic, usually some form of ADHD, ADD, autistic, things of that nature, and many who were not. They subdivide out. If it was a GATE program like the one that I experienced, then it was specific. Then it's specific, where they obtain the children from the school, or from whatever grade they're specifically targeting in the school. And it's a form of, you go through all different kinds of testing, hearing tests, card draw tests. There's a weird vision test. I have a weird memory, and I can't even describe it. I just remember a weird vision test. But what I mostly remember are the cards. The hearing test. That was the other one. Because the hearing tests are not normal hearing tests. The hearing tests were part of how they operated to trigger the brain after the children had been drugged and controlled. I'm trying to use my words carefully. So if you see me looking, and my face is itching because my body's starting to calm down from the rushing to get here. Especially right here. It's driving me nuts. So basically, what ends up taking place is you've got a group of kids, they're subdivided out without realizing that they're subdivided out. And what ends up taking place is that when they're subdivided out from one section of the classroom, you got one that's doing regular, advanced type of things, and the other students are doing what seems or appears like the same kind of thing, but slightly different. Well, those kids are then, it's figured out from the adults who, some are teachers and some are not. Some are CIA agents. Or military CIA agents. Like the two guys. One was CIA. The two that took me out of the school building, off the school property. Oh, that's the other thing. One was CIA, one was military CIA. Anyway, the point is that you had two different cups in the GATE program. One was fluoride treatment. And for a lot of kids with dyslexia, ADHD, autism, other quote-unquote disabilities that are disabilities in my opinion, but anyway. Hello, Jake. So it affects, the fluoride gave those kids headaches. Big, usually a lot of headaches. But here's the other thing. You had a separate Dixie cup, and oh my God, if the Dixie Cup company, I kid you not, this is a big deal because the government, that's what they used, was the Dixie cups. From the night, for me, I'm 58 years old. So for me, this happened in the 1970s. in the mid-1970s. And the Dixie cups were a specific color. You had two of them. They were on, matter of fact, they were on, if you remember school lunch trays, they were on school lunch trays. And so you had a row after row after row after row of Dixie cups, and you had a couple of different trays worth. And one tray was for the fluoride. One tray was, oh God, these brown trays, God, I hated those. One tray was specific for a full, or almost a full, it was like 3/4 to nearly full Dixie cup, filled with a syrupy, sweet, almost sickeningly sweet. There are people that say that they enjoyed it, and then others that said that it tasted very like it had some kind of drug in it, or some kind of they could taste it. So people, kids, most kids have a higher sense of taste, and certain kids like me could really taste it. And there were some kids I have read in different groups, very public groups, more than 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 individuals in these groups on Facebook. And some of them have talked about where they absolutely, now this is their information, not mine, they absolutely refused to drink it. It didn't feel right to them. They didn't like it, or because they had tasted it and they were like, no, I don't. They were there are stories. If you go into those groups, there are stories of people where they talk about how they were forced. It was forced down them. They were ordered to drink it. If they did not drink it, it was forced down them. And there was a time where sorry, I'm trying not to grip my hands because I have a memory that's popping up that I didn't. It's been on the surface, but I haven't allowed it to come forward, and it's really popped through. I have a distinct memory of saying no about it once, and I remember my arm being gripped enough to leave bruises. And it put me, I remember feeling very afraid. 8 years old. So you go from drinking it. It basically creates a mind wipe, or because it had, the one that I had scopolamine in it, and the drug scopolamine. Now, I've been told from other people across the United States that there were more than, or possibly more than, that's how I should word that. There were 3 potential drugs that were used. And I was asked directly from somebody in one of those groups, how do you know it was scopolamine? Excuse me. And the only reason why I remember it was scopolamine gets into a whole nother subject of the first time I experienced it. So I drank it, and a short time later, I was escorted off the elementary school campus, put into a white van. I fell asleep, or I was told to sleep. I do not remember. My entire second grade, I still have black memories. I have a photographic memory. It's known as an eidetic memory. As I've aged, of course, it's not as eidetic as it used to be, but it's still eidetic. It's still there, very much there. But sorry, an image just popped up. A row of words just popped up into my head. Something that I read earlier. Speaking of eidetic memories, I was walked off the campus because the scopolamine makes it to where you black out. You will be walking, talking, but you are following directions, explicit directions. You are following those directions. 8 years old. Walked off the campus by these two CIA operatives, and then put into a white van. I remember waking up, going through a military gate. I remember it as being Fort Lewis, McCord. It was a well, I have two memories actually. Well, yeah, I've got two memories. I was going to say, how do I say that? I've got one memory where I remember going through the gate, but there's one specific time where I remember going the main gate. But there's one specific time that I remember going through in the white van. I was in the process of waking up. I remember seeing the two guys, one guy driving and one guy in the passenger. I'm starting to shake because of this. One guy driving on the left side, one guy in the passenger seat. I recognized the guy driving. I didn't recognize the guy in the passenger seat. And I remember at quite a distance, looking at the windshield, looking through the windshield of the van, and seeing the hell are those called? I never remember what the hell they're called. It's where the gate is. It's like you've got a what the hell are they called? Little building, military man in fatigues, allowing the people to go through. We were the only ones on that road at the time. I can't think of what that's called at this second. Guard shack. Thank you, Paramarv. Oh my god, that was driving me balls out nuts. Anyway, thank you, Para. Yeah, it is. It's a checkpoint. But it wasn't a main entrance. So I don't know if it was the same facility. I don't know if it was the same military base. But I have a very distinct memory going through Fort Lewis, or it wasn't Fort Lewis McCord back then. It was Fort Lewis. Took the words out of my. Yeah, it's a checkpoint, guard shack. So anyway, and then I don't remember anything after. And they waved him through. They waved these two guys through like they knew him all the time. I mean, it was, oh hi, that was that kind of a response. I was like, whoa, okay. And I fell asleep again. I was probably 60 feet away from that guard shack, beyond that guard shack, and I was out again. The next thing I remember, I've talked about this over and over again, the next thing I remember is being in an elevator, going down a lot in the elevator. Elevator doors open, walking through a hallway, cement all the way around, some kind of pipes running overhead, but really far up above the guys' heads, the men's heads. And then the next thing being, God, I did not expect to go into all of this again. The next thing, so the scopolamine. I had a cattle prod used on my back. Hang on, I'm trying to calm my anger down. And my crying. two men fighting over me, and they were screaming. I was on my, there were boys behind me. All I remember are boys. I don't remember any girls in the room. I was the only girl. I was in the middle of the room on the floor, and I was rocking back and forth. And I think the reason why I remember it, I remember the cattle prod. I don't know what else to call it. That's what I know it as. It was a wand of some kind with, but it reminds me of a cattle prod. I remember my body felt like it was beaten. I cannot confirm or deny that. But that's what it felt like. And they weren't able to break me for hypnosis. For whatever reason, they were not able to break me. And the that brain fart's going on, guys. I'm trying to not remember. I'm trying. I can't shorten this down. I'm trying to shorten it down. My brain is trying to shorten this down, and I can't seem to do it. I can't seem to do it. It's very frustrating to me. I'm trying to be more concise and just shorten it. And how do you shorten this shit down? I mean, seriously, how do you shorten this shit down? So they got angry because their hypnosis wasn't working. The cattle prod, for whatever reason, I don't know if it worked. I've never truly experienced that I'm aware of, consciously aware of. I've never consciously aware of, have memories of altars like other people. I just don't have those. It's very possible. I've been told repeatedly that I probably do, but I don't have any memory of them. I don't know. I've never been diagnosed with any other than my dyslexia and my PTSD, and one other thing that will never be public, unless somebody I know, because there's only a couple of people that know. And it's not, it has to do with the stress. Extreme stress. And that does not have anything to do with multiples or altars or whatever the hell they're calling it now. It has to do with, I can't even, it's just, I can't go there. Because I don't want to make that public. If it ever came out, then so it comes out, but it's not going to be coming from me. But I've never been, there's no multiples. I've never been told I'm this horrific person. I've never been diagnosed when I've always tried to protect people. Children, I've always tried to protect children. If I can, or if I'm aware of certain things. So there's all that kind of stuff. Anyway, the reason I know about the word scopolamine and the drug scopolamine was because these two men came in and were fighting. Yeah, Paramarv says, I bet you'd remember the cattle prod. That's the first thing that I remembered, Paramarv. It just, I'm not going into what I remember of that. It's truly awful. It's really bad. And how do you deal? Oh, hey, Anchor Haven. How you doing, hun? I'm going to be on Anchor Haven's podcast. I can't remember the date, but it's coming soon. when I get the not the information. God, I have the information. I just don't remember it right now because of what I'm talking about. When I have it, I will. I'll make an announcement so that we can have folks come on and watch. Anyhow, but it is this month. It is this month. Month of May 2026. So that's how I know the word scopolamine is because of the fact that these two military officers, CIA agents, were fighting over why. Hey, Drew, we're fighting over why. Tuesday. This Tuesday? Oh, yeah, it is this Tuesday. See, it's been quite a lot going on. Anyway, so yeah, that's why I know the word scopolamine. They were like, we use the scopolamine. She should be this and she should be that. And oh my God, they were yelling and screaming at each other. And that's how I know that they used scopolamine on me. And wow, it was a hard thing to remember. I mean, it was the yelling and screaming, because I remember sitting there. I remember sitting there on my knees. At one point, I was sitting cross-legged, and at another point, I was sitting on my knees, and I was just rocking back and forth. And periodically, I will do that even now when things get really. There are times I don't even register that I'm doing it, and that goes back to childhood. I believe it's a PTSD response, is what I think. So that's how I know the word scopolamine. It literally, I call us little mindless automatons, because that's what it does. You get drugged with that, and you have major blackout sections of memory that's just not there, and they should be there, and you can't figure out why. My entire second grade, except for one memory, was wiped until I started remembering the GATE program. And then I started having flashbacks of all these different things. Oh, hey, Marilena. Oh, thank you. Good morning, beautiful Nikki. Thank you. Appreciate that. I hope you're doing well, dear. Oh, I'm so sorry. So I think there were a couple of other questions in here. Let's see. Oh, Joe Doe blog. It's been a while. Yes, it has been. How you doing, hun? See, I knew there were folks I was missing. Claire, you're moving soon. She says I'm nervous. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I am back. Just want to be sure. Cozy loves Christ 81. CIA notoriously lies about operating inside the U.S. Yes, they do. Amy says I didn't complain. I loved cough syrup too. Yeah, the problem is that it tasted like it was drugged. It had drugs in it. They were trying to cover it up, and yeah, it didn't. So Para wrote, but it. Okay, wait a minute. Let me scroll up. Did he say before that? Oh, that's good to know, Lauren. They kept the records. Good. So Para says, but it's not possible that they would be CIA agents because the CIA charter says they can only have operations outside of the USA. Well, that's interesting. Then they're liars. Yeah. Yeah, these guys were, so you get people that are coming in and acting like teachers and they're not, they're part of government. Get the fake credentials, or they may have real credentials for teaching them. Oh, Marilena, yeah. Oh, hello. GBZB996 says hi. Hi. They came after me. So Marilena says, they came after me and I had to use my abilities to send them all away in my sleep. And I smelled coffee after that. Yeah. Astral. And that fun. Anchor Haven says, I'm only just getting my memories. The context has finally come in. Yeah. It's kind of scary when you start remembering this stuff. Make the choice. If you have gate memories, gate program memories, and you have blackout sections, start asking questions. And then start asking yourself questions of how far do you want to know? Do you want to remain and leave them blank? Or do you want to allow yourself to start remembering things? Because to my knowledge, all the kids that were separated in the legitimate part of the GATE program, and they were separated out into the government section of the GATE program. Now, not all schools had these two, the subdivided GATE program. There is a legitimate GATE program. You have to keep that in memory. And a lot of people are like, I never experienced that. This is what I experienced. We never were given that full drink, though there were those drinks on the counter. I never experienced that, and I don't remember other kids drinking it. I remember other kids, doing the swish and spit of the fluoride. And so that's what we're talking about here. There are many kids across the United States who experience the legitimate aspects, the legitimate GATE program. And there are many of us, thousands, I think, in my own personal opinion, based on the fact you look at the educational system across the United States, what state is targeted? What specific states were targeted with the subdivide, the two sections of the GATE program? How many schools? Elementary schools, because that was what was going on in the 1970s. According to what I've been learning from these other groups, GATE was also in the two sections of GATE were also in junior highs and high schools in the 80s, and in the 90s, really predominant in high schools. Wow, that has been a mind bender to learn about all of this. And it's still going on. And according to people that I personally know, they go back into the 60s. What? This was going on in the 60s? According to what I understood. Oh, hello, Paul Carlisle. I'm sorry, your last name was given the front part of my brain a problem. Apologize. And so, hello, Swifter241, who's putting a Bible verse into my chat. Please don't do that. But anyway, they go back to when they were in school in the 1960s. As I understood it, it started somewhere between 57 to 69. That would imply 57. But then I've heard other people that experienced it in the late 50s. Huh? What? Oh! Okay, now my face is really starting to itch. I can't fathom what they went through. They're in their 70s now. Many of them are in their 70s, and they're talking about this. They remember being an SSP. When I was just beginning to experience what I was experiencing at 8 years old in second grade. I can't even... I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around this. So, when you're doing your deep dives into this, go back as far as you can. Because I have a sneaking suspicion that this goes back into the 1940s. And what I remember from the book that I read, we're not going to get into that right now, but what I remember of the ufology, the government ufology book that I read, they had documents from 1932 and 1933 on ufology. 32 and 33. Who was president then? Who were the Joint Chiefs of Staff then? Who were the, Joint Chiefs of Staff, presidents. There was something else I was going to say, and I can't, there's a specific U.S. government governing body, and I can't call it back up because I've got Joint Chiefs of Staff stuck in my head right now. DOD, that was the other one. What? I mean, you want to talk about something that is really going to screw with your thinking? That'll do it. This is some serious stuff. This goes into why the deep section of government, U.S. government, was so specific about controlling the public's knowledge and also about Hollywood movies. Think about the control that has been going on for over 90 years. Wow. Then think about other countries becoming involved and how they have become almost a form of a United Nations type of situation with SSP. Now, talk about blowing people's minds. Whoa! Hello, folks. That's a big deal. A really big deal. Because now you're talking about the populations of the entire planet and the extreme controls. Oh, hey, oh my God. I was about to say battle liner. Hello, Robert. How you doing, hun? Marilena, that's why discernment is very important. Oh my God, girl, yes. Agreed. Wholeheartedly. Oh, the book you meant. Hang on, I hadn't, let me go back. Anchor Haven. Yeah, okay, let me see. Where did I miss it? Won't let you remove the comment. Okay, hang on a second. Oh, sorry, deleted it. Oh, okay. L for Atla. Nikki is the cutest lady ever. Well, thank you for that. Oh, here's your question. Anchor Haven is asking, did you read the books by John Whitberg? No, I know John. The Man with the Periwinkle Eyes. I found them quite activating. No, I haven't read it yet, hun. It's on a very long book list to read. There's a lot of books I want to read. I haven't. I'm having a hard time doing I used to be an avid reader, and I'm not so much anymore, mostly because of the amount of memories that I'm having of the ETs, of SSP, and what all went down. Because you've got regular ET abductions that have been what I have learned. It's been a hell of a shock to me. Oh, and my mother told me just the other day and earlier today that she was very proud of me for essentially talking about my ET experiences. The fact that she is the one who told me that she and I were abducted when she was pregnant with me. I mean, when she told me that last year, it was the beginning of this year. Anyway, whatever. Point is, and I've got it written down. It's in my notes. I'm just not remembering the exact timeline right now. Because I lost Mom in February of 2025. But that was one of the things that she's like, I'm proud of you. You're talking. This is a big deal. Well, that's not quite how she worded it, but she kept telling me she's proud of me for dealing with this, for going through with it. I'm hearing Powerhouse right now in my head. It's when you think about all the things that I've been through, people have asked me, how do you get through it? I didn't understand what was going on at the time. 7 years old, I had a horrible screaming hissy fit over one of the ETs, the female ETs that I had begged and pleaded with to show me herself, because she had brought me back off from being on board a ship. And I lost my ever-loving frickin' mind. It's the whole reason why they won't allow me to see them now, because they still think at 58 years old that I'm going to yell and scream over what they look like. I don't give two shits what they look like anymore. I would rather see them than not see them and have things move in my house, or have me go through a freaking blanket and sheet or comforter on my bed as they're putting me back in my pajamas or clothing or whatever it was I went to bed in that night. Because it's just, sorry, I'm looking at my bed. My pillow's there and my blankets are there, and I'm like, oh my God. It's just, and then you think about the childhood sexual assault that I had, or not, so I was full on sexual abuse as a 7-year-old. And at 8 years old, SSP. Hello. Well, Gate, and then MK Ultra, and then SSP. Talk about extreme controls. I mean, and people effing with your brain as a child. No, it's not okay. A lot of it I didn't understand. A lot of it, none of it made sense to me. You don't remember most of it. And I'm remembering it now, because I'm breaking through a lot of the blocks. I'm pushing forward, and boy, has it. I had to be real specific with myself and say, I want only the memories that that I can emotionally handle right now. And when my body and my brain feel safe enough, I want to remember more. I've had to be very crystal clear. I've actually had to write and rewrite a directive as to how I wanted this to happen so that my body, my soul, and my guides would help me through it. And they have. They've put certain things in my pathway. My guides have put certain things in my pathway. And there are times it just triggers. It's obnoxious as fuck. Oh, sorry. It's obnoxious. But I'm here to tell you, it's made a hell of an impact. And I don't have triggers every day. The stuff that came up today was something out of the blue. To me, it was out of the blue. So there's that aspect of it. 121. Okay, so I need to get into this other stuff. Because I basically have. I kind of want to end at 2 hours. I'm trying to keep it at the 2.5 hour mark, the 1 to 2.5 hour mark, because I'm like, we cannot be doing these really long drawn out. It's too much. It's too much on my physical body, and it's too much emotionally and spiritually and so many other ways. So in order for me to take care of me, that's what I'm going to have to be doing now. Yeah, I remember John. John's a nice person. Cicely, see, now I'm starting to twitch. My eyes are starting to twitch, which means I got to write down B6. I got to take my vitamin B6 because I missed it today. For me, if I have twitching eyes, for me, that means I'm having a deficiency in vitamin B6. So I have a liquid form that I take, and I don't take very much of it at a time. No, we don't need to delete it. It's okay. I don't remember what he talks about in that book. I think that's probably why Drew is saying it's going to be a touchy subject. He most likely remembers it. I don't. I know the book. I know of it. And I used to know the subject, but it's not sticking in my head right now. Paul Carlisle is saying we're between the giants and okay, I can't even read that word. Terrestrials, the Robertson Project. I've never heard of that. Let me remove the comment. Don't worry about it, hon. Don't worry about it. Robertson Project was 40s. Says, okay. Amy says OSS, Office of Strategic Services, the forerunner of the CIA. Yes, I do remember that. Thank you, Amy, for putting that in there. Marilena, it's curling worldwide. It more than government. Churches are given permission. Oh, that's interesting. Drew is saying the Nazis were trying to get their own UFO thing going. Yeah, and they did. That's what a lot of people, unless you're SSP, you may not fully understand that they did. They didn't just try, they got it up and running. Think about that one, folks. That's a kind of a horrific subject when you think about it. Robert Battleliner is saying, control the narrative, control the sheeples. Yes, exactly, Robert. Marilena, that's why discernment is very important, yes. No, don't worry about the book, Anchor Haven. David Holt, 8074. Okay, this chick knows some secrets. Yeah, I do. And I'm not alone in what I know. There are many of us who are talking. Okay. David Holt. Okay, this woman knows some things, yeah. Oh, his book is, yeah, that's what I thought. It's all SSP, no religion, yeah. Robertson panel, 1952, my apologies, says Paul. Yeah, no worries. Marilena, they use sangomas, which are here in South Africa. You have to have a strong sense of self. Good, don't keep quiet anymore, Marilena. Good for you. Okay, you guys are working things out, that's good. Paul Carlisle is saying the experiences have been going on in Europe for thousands of years, probably tens of thousands of years, and are attributed to fairs, to FAIRS, fairs and such. Okay. L4 Atla is saying this is fantastical, fascinating. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Marilena, my sister was telling me earlier this morning she will never forget my screaming from my experiences. I don't scream anymore or get frightened, but it traumatized my sister. Oh, I could understand that. Paul is saying your family is lucky that you returned. Durf or Nothing says, what is this about? ET abductions, U.S. government ET abductions, SSP, Secret Space Program, and other things. Ufology. Okay. Okay, Anchor Haven. This is a great question. Anchor Haven. Do you do any specific practices to help you remember? No. It's a great question. Simple answer. No. Well, okay, my instantaneous answer is no. I meditate. I don't meditate every day. Oh God. I used to meditate all the time. I don't meditate as often as I should. But I do meditate. I focus my energy. I use higher consciousness at times when I need to. Periodically I clear my chakras. I had to think of the word. I couldn't think of the word. Chakras. Periodically I clear my chakra system. Stop it. You're driving me nuts. What else do I do? I try to make sure that and this is going to sound weird, but I try to make sure that I eat ginger, raw garlic, God. I focus on healing the pineal gland, making sure that it's decalcified. because and that's something that you're going to need to ask me because I'm not going to remember it. I can tell you right now, most of the times that I talk about real specific things, I don't always remember it. Later on, when somebody asks me, "You said that," I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds like me." So, but like I can walk into a room and have. Well, I used to be able to walk into a room and tell you every little detail that was in the freaking room. Now I can walk in and I can tell you most things that are in it. I'm like, most of it's all the little stuff is minutia now to me, and I'm like, it's not important. I don't need to freaking remember it. Because it just becomes extra minutia to my brain. So I have a question. Where the hell did I learn to? And somebody recently told me, "Oh my God, that you do that? That's indicative of government, of U.S. government, of part of SSP, of MK Ultra training." And I'm like, "It is." So when I've talked about, all this new stuff comes up. I start talking to people that are SSP. I start talking to people that have been experienced MK Ultra or have experienced Montauk. Oh my God, Montauk is very different than MK Ultra. Oh my God, oh, so much worse. Oh my God, so much worse. And that's like, yeah, horrifying to me. What I have described to certain others, they're like, what you experienced is MK Ultra. And I'm like, okay. Because a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, I was freaking out because I remembered being 10 years old and in New York, New York City, and in very specific locations in New York City. And I remember at 10 years old, the family member, I think they're deceased now. Just totally sucks. I would have loved to have seen them again. My mom and I were staying with one of my mom's girlfriend's families, and they had 12 kids, adults. They were all adults, and pretty much none of the adult kids, were home. But we stayed in their home, and one of the siblings came and would take me all over New York, and I loved that, but I hated the subways. Oh my God, the subways freaked me out. Buses didn't bother me, but the subways just horrified me. And by that age, I had already experienced all of this stuff, but had no memory of it. Strange. And so I was terrified 2-3 years ago that I had experienced Montauk. I was truly terrified of it. And what I started remembering and describing to other SSP individuals, they're like, "No, that's MK Ultra." And I'm like, oh, wow, thank God. Because the things that I've heard from people that have gone through oh my God, I cry for that. There have been times where I've how do I describe this without saying information? There have been times when I've been around certain individuals who have don't start with me, stomach. I swear to God, do not start with me. Stomach's starting to growl. It's because I don't have any liquid. So what are we choosing? We're going to choose iced tea. Okay. So the things that they described, I've walked away from the conversations, not stopped the conversations and then walked away. The conversation naturally ended. Just trying to figure out how to phrase this. And I've cried for them. I've cried because the information that they've talked about is just horrifying. It's so much worse. And the fact that they're alive, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, that's how old they are. That's the age range I'm talking about. And they've talked about what they've experienced. They lived through it. It's more horrific to me than I can't even. And all I remember is a cattle prod and having my body feel like I was beaten, like horrifically beaten. That's what I remember. But I don't have any other memories of being in that deep underground military base. Capital DUMBS. That's what they're called, DUMBS, Deep Underground Military Base. And I don't have any other memories, and I'm kind of wondering, okay, maybe I don't want to remember. Maybe it's not safe for me to remember. Maybe I won't emotionally survive it. And that's fine. It means that my brain is protecting myself. So yeah. Hello, Crow's Milk. That's a great question, Anchor Haven. Thank you. Okay, knock it off, stomach. Hang on 1 second, folks. Okay, yeah, it's been a while since I've had anything to drink or eat. And that's going to kick in some problems for me for later. So, yeah. Anyway, I just want to see. I'm looking forward to our show on Tuesday too. I just couldn't remember what the date was. I've had an awful lot of things scheduled this week, and I couldn't tell you what's what, other than I know what's Monday right now. that's all I've got in my head at the moment. But I am looking forward to it. I was looking forward to it when you asked. I was like, well, that's cool. L4 Alta, you are amazing. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Hair. Okay. HERR. Oh my God, here goes the vision again. It's because it's so small. That's not anybody else's fault. That's just because of the device I'm on. Descartes says caveat. +7 vitamin B6 pyridoxine toxicity generally occurs with chronic high-dose supplementation, often exceeding 100 to 1,000 milligrams daily. Oh, I didn't know that. I will look into that. Yeah, I'm supposed to be taking a very tiny amount of it every day, and I don't always do that. So then my eyes start twitching with that thumb. It really starts decreasing when I'm on it on a regular basis. Let's see. Get my tinfoil hat out. Yeah, that's true. Okay, thank you, Paramar, and others who are doing. Oh, yeah, that's a great question, Alta. Thank you, Paramarv, and the others for being mods tonight. Wow. Ooh, my eyes are getting glassy-eyed. I think that's because I probably need to eat. Alta is asking, please tell me if you are concerned with CERN and what you think they might be up to. Oh, that's a loaded subject, hon. Yeah, I am actually. There was a bit of psychic information that I got in, what was it? 2019, 2020, and 2021. about CERN and about what they were doing. And in the last year and a half, there have been, I don't want to necessarily call them whistleblowers. Oh, good grief, there goes the stomach. I don't necessarily want to call them whistleblowers. I just don't know what else to call them. But folks who have come out, who have talked about certain things that they are doing. Oh, good grief, just a second. Sorry, folks. And yeah, I am. I'm quite concerned about it. In fact, the combination of CERN combined with what SSP is doing and different sections of SSP, because you have to understand there's not just one level of SSP. There is a trickle down. This is something that I started remembering, oh God, the last, trying to say the last 3 weeks, but I think it's been more like the last couple of months. Anyway, the point is that there are multiple levels of SSP. So you've got the ones that are out in space. They're out in space, baby. Then you got the ones who are, I mean, they're traversing space. Okay, they're traveling in space. They're on other planets. They're doing bits and pieces of good things and a lot of nefarious shit. The fact that the U.S. government is again involved in not annihilating an indigenous species, however, stealing from an indigenous species. I don't give two shits if it's an ET race or a human race. The fact that they're doing this shit again, I take great issue with, because in the 1800s, I was there. I witnessed it in that specific lifetime. I witnessed it. I was one of the people that they were unaliving, trying to unalive. I take great issue with that. So the fact that they're up and doing this shit again, they're stealing from the indigenous species. I don't care if it's a giant 12 to 15 foot tall spider that lives on Desdemona, the moon planet of Desdemona, or of of Uranus. So the planet is called Desdemona. It's crap. I just had the name and now it's gone. There's a certain plat. I talked about that last time. Flat, Platte, or flat, Flatte. Anyway, I don't remember the name of it at this second, but that's where they're stealing minerals to use. And these minerals are needed for these indigenous species to live, to survive. If they do not have that, they die. Why is the U.S. government heavily involved in that? I don't give two shits if it's for humanity. You do not steal from indigenous. Period. Take great issue with that. You see how pissed I is? It's just only letting a small amount of my distaste. Do not like using the H word, which is hate, because that just don't like that word. Anyway, but it's up there for me. I am not okay with that. They're stealing. Yeah, there's information that I know. There's information I remember. Not okay. Absolutely not okay. All right, back to, but yes, I am, you asked a question, Alta, and yes, I am very concerned about what CERN is doing. Yeah. Oh my, Kevin, Wait a minute. Read it? No. Okay, I do remember you. Sorry. Took me a minute. I always get you and a different Kevin that I know confused. I apologize. Anyway, hello. How you doing? Kevin Carney is saying your childhood gate experience is similar. Not exact, but similar to Dr. Juliet Engel, Engel. Timeline doesn't line up though. She was a grade schooler in the early 60s. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. She called on me, says Robert. Whoops. She calls on me, says Robert. Yeah. Anchor Heaven. I just reintroduced Ginger. Yeah. My show is pretty random. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah, kind of. Mine is too. I mean, it is, but it's not. We get into a lot of things, a lot of different subjects. Yeah, Anchor Haven. I don't like to go into Project Phoenix too much. Oh man. Well, that calls up weird little memories. I don't even know how to describe them. A lot of people do, but I prefer to focus on everything else. Oh, and I can understand that. This is why I find the support groups uncomfortable. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. Robert Battleliner says Montauk survivors were put through hell. Yes, they were. There's not, according to what I've heard from 2 different MIBs, which I didn't even realize one of the men that I knew was an MIB. So there's 2 now that I know. But anyway, but what I've understood from them is that it was girls were very few and far between. Boys were the ones that were mostly used, and they were known as the Montauk boys. I can't. Yeah, we got to change the subject because I'm starting to shake. My back is starting, and it's going to hit my fingers pretty quick. So we gotta not hit Montauk anymore. And stop the subject of Montauk because it. Yeah. Stuff that Marilyn, stuff is horrifying. I can't talk about it without crying. It's very painful. I can't think about it. Yeah, I don't blame you. Anchor, I'm doing a show on Typical Skeptical tonight and may have to talk about it. Oh, hon. Well, talk about what you can handle here. Or, I mean, talk about what you can handle talking about is what I was trying to say. And, oh my God, I just forgot his name. Typical Skeptical podcast is owned and operated by, oh my God, I can't think of his name. Brain fart. Anyway, yeah, I know. Rob, thank you. Khalil, Rob Khalil, yeah. Oh, you're co-hosting. We are interviewing Drago Reed, who is my SSP twin. That's awesome that you're, yeah, that'll be a lot of really interesting info. Hey, Joe. It's nice to see you, hon. 8 p.m. Eastern is going to be a live question and answer audience questions. Awesome. Okay. I'll try to, depending upon what's going on, I'll try to do, I'll try to be in chat, but I'll be on my Angels Are Life YouTube channel. That's my personal channel. Oh, stop it. Sorry, stomach's growling at me. Anyway, but that's it's Nikki Angels Are Life for Instagram and Angels Are Life for Twitch. But oh God, Help. I can't think of the name of the other one. The one that Rumble. Rumble is both Angels Are Alive, and there's also one for Restore Belief with Nikki. And then I will eventually be on Spotify. iHeart. I gotta go looking through my notes. I just said it. Now I can't remember it. Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, Apple, Google, and others. So that's in the process of being worked on. I don't know when they'll. Hopefully, by the end of June, it'll all be up and running. Hopefully, I don't know. I'm not. I've got two people that I'm just so heartfelt. I can't even begin to tell them thank you enough. Okay, that alone's going to get me bawling. It means that much to me what these folks are doing for me, to be able to put me out into the other I call them platforms. That's what I want. I was going to say social media, but other platforms. It's a really big deal. So it means a great deal to me. Thank you guys that are thank you folks to the folks that are doing this. It means a lot. Anchor Haven says Mickey has such good intel. It's not easy to talk about this stuff. No, it's not. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Alta, thank you, Nikki. You are a great human being. I appreciate you. Thank you. That actually, folks, when you say things like that, I take that kind of stuff to heart. It means a lot to me, the things that you tell me. I work really hard on the positivity, and it's really tough to get through sometimes. There are times, and back in the 90s, I had a really wonderful counselor. I am so appreciative of him. I had my first counselor in the 1990s was a female, and oh my God, she got me through so much stuff, and then she had to move on in her life, and she wasn't going to be doing counseling anymore, and we found a different counselor, and he got me through even more, and it's mind-bending to me. It really is. Because of what I learned with these two, I look at them as instructors. Because of what I learned, it's the reason I'm still alive to this day. They are the reason for what and how they taught me things in counseling to deal with all of this horrific, mind-bending pile of shit. It's because of them that I am still alive. It is because of them that I'm able to process. And one of them told me, "Oh my God, you are a fast processor." Yeah. They gave me assignments, and the following week it'd be one after another things that I would process through really quick. And now I kind of understand why. Part of it was being trained. Part of it's being trained by the ETs. Another part of it's being trained by SSP. Buzz stopped. Oh dear. That means that, oh my God, you guys, you got to tell me if this has had buzzing all this time. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. That is a gigantic deal to me, folks. If you hear buzzing, you got to tell me right away. I'm so sorry. I would have changed. I can't change headphones, but I would have changed. I would have changed cords. I'm not connected to a power source right now. Speaking of which, power source. I gotta check. Yeah, okay, we're still good. We're still okay. Whoops. Wait a minute. Okay. It was only a few seconds. Okay, thank you, Robert. No, it just started and then stopped. Oh, that's because I picked up the cord. I picked up the cord and moved it. Oh, cripes. Okay, well, now I know. Only one buzz. Okay, thank you. Oh my God, thank you guys. Guys and gals and everybody, thank you. Oh God, you guys crack me up. I haven't been asked. Anchor Haven, I haven't. I moderate on. See now, you got TSP, and now I can't think of that. I know the show. Typical Skeptical Podcast. There we go. So you moderate on Typical Skeptical Podcast. Okay. You should do a show with Rob. It would be awesome. Yeah, I've not been asked. I don't know if he even. Well, he might. He might remember or know me, and I'm not going to say how. You, however, might know for specific reasons I'm not getting into because I don't talk about that side. That's something I try to keep very private. There's only a couple of people know that what I do to help myself. So in a positive, constructive way, and my God, those are, they mean so much to me. There are things that I would love to be able to do to thank people. Okay. I'm going to hit the emotion. Try not to. Anyway, I need to get on with the rest of this. So I've been asked a lot of questions tonight, and I wanted to be sure that I asked or got through everything. Alta, what do you mean that number regarding Desdemona? Can you explain, please? That's literally a moon planet. Oh my God. It's literally a moon planet off of the planet Uranus. Rob has no memory. Oh, he doesn't. Oh, wow. We'll check with Rob. Okay, thanks. Oh, hey! Nissan boy, how you doing, hun? Did it again. Forgot your name. Christian! Oh, I remembered. Might take me repetition, but I think I finally got it. Anyway, how you doing, hun? And if you're hearing my stomach growl, I do apologize. Don't hear any buzzing. Okay, so it's still good. Is that a crepe? CREPE. Oh, a crepe. Yeah. I don't know who's talking about a crepe. Oh God, those are good. Little flour, little cow milk, or whatever milk you choose to use. They don't fluff up, but you can roll. You can make them like it's a super thin pancake, and they're usually used for dessert, but you can put anything in them. Okay. Yes, and more eggy. Yeah, it is. No emotions for you. Yes, I got it. I got it cut off. Don't make me go fish. Get some food in you. Yeah. Oh, cripes, Robert. Oh, man. I love my friends. Yeah, actually, what I should be drinking is my water that has a little bit of juice in it, because that will help the blood sugar. Anyway, 1 second here again, guys. Okay, that should help. Okay, now the nose is going. God dang it. All right. So, what else I wanted to talk about before I run out of time, and I'm already at 2 hours. This should be about maybe 15 minutes, if that. So let me get through this, folks. Then ask your questions, and then we need to end it for the night. Okay, this is about ET abductions. This section. That tea is ideally drank out of a mason jar. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. That's actually something I want, Amy. I want large mason jars with handles on them. I love stuff like that. I deeply love stuff like that. Anyway, but I have a tendency to break glass like it's going out of style. That's why I went to Rubbermaid, because I don't break these damn things. I prefer glass jars. I really, really do. I hate plastic. I really prefer glass jars, but this is a Santa Cruz bottle. Anyway. So, anyhow, back to the subject. Okay, so the rest of this is about ET abductees. It's specific about DNA. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Okay, and this is actually because Drew sent me something this afternoon. So thank you, Drew. It was a news reel or something about DNA. And it literally, I don't even remember what it was on, other than it was DNA. It was a news thing, and they were talking about DNA. It literally got me to thinking about ET abductees and DNA again. Hello, Azumi. Azumo? Azumi or Azumo? Hello, Peter Rich. No, that's okay. This is important. So Peter Rich just made a very good statement that we talk about this frequently. So he's saying when the abductees called on the name of Jesus, the abduction stopped. So we kind of know they're demons, not ETs. That's not true. Hello, Trace. How you doing, hon? So Peter, there's very few types of ETs that actually believe in Jesus. Very few. Very, very few. And what ends up taking place is that if the name of Jesus is mentioned, they will stop the abduction. All the others do not believe that way. They do not think that way. They do not believe that way. ETs are not demons. The ETs who believe in Jesus, it is because they have a religious base. They believe in a hierarchy such as God, but they also believe in Jesus. And see, that gets into the whole religion aspect of it. But you have to understand, there are many, many types of ETs who do abductions. Okay? And those other types of ETs, absolutely not what they believe in, absolutely are on a job. They are there This is a business to them. It's run and operated like a business. They are not demons. I've experienced one demon in my life. I've experienced a lot of minions from demons. A lot. When I've been on teams that have protected people, Robert Battleliner, Robert White can tell you, because I have been on teams with him. He has seen what we have all done and worked with. I've only ever had one demon try to murder me. Had his hands around my throat and was suffocating me. Yeah, they were a wannabe type of demon. They were the demon's lower downs. I call them minions. They're wannabes, and they want to be a demon, and so that very different in comparison to an extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrials are very real. They are not demons. They all have jobs. Think of it that way. They're doing a job, which is a whole nother subject. Okay, so there's that point. Oh, Jacqueline. Did I miss Jacqueline? Stop by. Hi. How you doing, hon? Hello, Seth. Okay, so I did get everybody. Okay, so now we're moving on. Hello, Loud Pac-Man. Okay, hello. Amy, that's an excellent question. That's a funny question. Amy is saying, do demon trainees get health insurance after 60 days? Ciara, hello, how you doing, hon? I hate my constant sleep paralysis. Oh yeah, sleep paralysis is not fun. The organization that, so Peter is saying the organization that did this study is called CEO Research Group. They can study it all they want. I have my own personal experiences and I know what I've seen. Oh, I love the conversation. Oh, this is getting interesting. Anyway, all right, moving on. I got to get to this. Okay, so my question, is it possible for female ET abductees to have their DNA changed or altered due to the ETs? Hang on one second. Here we go. Okay, moving on. I don't have any information for you, Sarah. I'm sorry. I think you said that so this is the second time saying I'm moving in a week and I am nervous. I don't have any information. Isn't saying isn't DNA energy keep moving forward? Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. No. I got two things mixed up. Well, isn't DNA energy? Could their energy be changed? Maybe so. Okay, so is it possible for female ET abductees to have their DNA changed and altered due to the ETs? How do we use our current human medical systems to prove this? Is there a way to prove this? If you're listening and you're in government, find scientists that can definitively prove beyond a shadow of a doubt via blood tests. Via blood tests. It's got to be simple. It's got to be easy, okay, for a woman to go in and ask her doctor. I mean, this has got to make some major changes. I understand that. I understand the dynamics of this. But this is what needs to take place. This is what needs to happen. We need our scientific what's the word? Our scientific people to create a blood test that can definitively show the DNA changes. So that means that they are in the hybridization program. What happens when you are pregnant, when a human female is pregnant with a human baby? The baby, after she gives birth, and years later, we have been able to to decipher that the genetics from that baby, the blood flow from that baby goes through the mother. It also goes to her brain. That is scientific, proven, factual evidence information. We need to be able to do this for ET abductees, female ET abductees who are part of the hybridization programs, because there's not just one program, there's a number of them. They need validation. They need the scientific proof. Scientific proof means let's figure out a way, because I have had over children, extraterrestrial hybrid children. I've had 30 pregnant, well, I've had more than 30 pregnancies, but I've had 30 pregnancies. I don't remember all of them. I remember quite a few of them, but I don't remember all of them. Oh my God, and my firstborn, God, she's gorgeous. Matter of fact, if you go to my I had AI create, I had Meta AI create an image, and it came out so close to what she looks like. It's not precise, but it is so freaking close. On the most current post on this channel, it's a post. It's an image. It's a post. Also on my two Facebook pages, on my private Facebook page. Well, it's not private. I made it public. But on my regular Facebook page, Nikki.Jacobs.376, and on my Nikki Jacobs Psychic Medium page, you will find on all three locations, and on Instagram, you will find an image on that meme that I created, dead center underneath the image of the hands holding a spherical ball. Right underneath there, she is my firstborn. She is my firstborn hybrid human ET child. She's 40. Oh God, she's 40. I had her when I was pregnant with her when I was 13. They took her from me when I was 14. It was a 5-month pregnancy. Very unusual, 5 months. Most pregnancies are 3 months or 6 weeks, depending upon which hybridization program you're in. Okay? That image, she's the one with long black hair, pasty white, long black hair. And she has her hand like this. That's the image that they created, that the AI created. That's not how I would have put her, but that's how they made her look. But the face, wow, almost, it is so close to what she looks like. And I wasn't going to ever talk about that. The difference is that she looks more ET than she does human. But the combination of the two, if she were 100% human, that is what she would look like. It is so freaking close. It is amazing to me. I kind of lost my shit when I saw her. I saw the image that the Meta AI created. I just started bawling. Just immediately started bawling. I'm like, that, I can't even. It meant more to me. The images that I'm creating with AI mean so much to me. All of those children, all of those images of children are images that I created, that I put through AI. I did it that way because I could not cut out the pictures that I had drawn in art and do. I wanted them to look as realistic as possible, and that's what I did. Those are my kids. Every single one of those, in the center and off, kind of off to the right, those are my kids. Those are many of my kids that I remember. The fact that I even remember them is a big deal. It's a gigantic deal. So my point about the DNA is very valid. We need to create a situation sorry. Skin's driving me nuts. No. Is that Clara or Sierra? I'm sorry, I can't tell if that is an I or an L. Either way, I'm sorry, and it's probably not a coincidence from what you're talking about. Yeah, not demons. That is to me, in my opinion, that is a bald-faced lie. If that is the organization that is putting that information out, to me and my knowledge, oops, yep, another hair gone. To me and my knowledge, that is a bald-faced lie. They're not. They're not demons. They're not demonic. I absolutely disagree with that. They are a living, breathing entity. Being, entity is not the right word, being. They are physical, like we are fleshies. They are fleshies. They're just a different species, a different race within that species. But the DNA, we need to get into the conversation with government to change the medical system so that ET abductees can have definitive, documented, scientific evidence of these abductions. And since human infants, and it's been scientifically proven, the DNA stays within their brain. Hell, sperm stays in a woman. The genetics of sperm. Hello, they've been pinpointing that it stays in the woman's body. The genetics. I mean, talk about freaking people out. When I read that, I was like, oh my God, that is. So think about this kind of stuff. We need to have either formal genetic testing done or some kind of blood draw that is done to where we can confirm, hello, we've got other genetics other than human genetics in us. And if it comes down to it, I will give whatever amount of blood to make it happen, because I kid you not, this needs to be happening. We need to be able to show how many women across this planet are extraterrestrial abductees that are part of hybridization. We need a count. We need the numbers. And in order to do that, it means doing the scientific research to get to those numbers. Yeah, it's going to take years, but start it now. If you really are in government and you really are listening to me, like Harry Reid told me last night that you were, a spirit comes to me telling me that you're paying attention to what I'm talking about. By God, there are things that we need changed. That's one of them. The other is to make it to where counseling, because the planets, or the not the planets, the governments of this planet have come together and allowed this to happen. It's not just the United States government. Many governments across this planet. So we need to start documenting this. Many of our planetary citizens are ET abductees. Millions? How many millions are on this planet? Think about that. How many millions are ET abductees? How many of those are females that are in the hybridization programs? We need a count on the numbers. We need the genetics. We need to definitively show this is taking place. What pharmaceutical company is going to... I do not like pharmaceutical companies. I don't. But what pharmaceutical company is going to make it to where they're going to be the first ones to figure out the test? Aha. That might be because, hello, aren't they pharmaceutical companies? Aren't they part of U.S. Dynamics in political arenas? Hello? Don't they give... I can't think of the words right now. There's political things with that. I can't think of the words at this second. It's like not giving monies, but they help fund certain political folks when they want certain things. That's like the tobacco industry, and you go into politics and it gets into all different... I just don't remember what it's called right now. Val Ventura, didn't your family trip out that you were pregnant at 13? They didn't know. Hell, I didn't know that I was pregnant at 13. I didn't understand what was happening to me. I mean, I'd be looking into thinking an uncle or someone did something to you. I probably wouldn't have accepted aliens, did it? No, I wouldn't have accepted it either. I mean, at 13 years old, sorry, I'm trying to think of all the different things that was going on at 13. At 13 years old, I was no longer in Seattle. I hadn't been living in Seattle for some time. And I was out of that area. I was in a completely different area. I was in a farming community. Very different from a big city in the 1979, 1980. Very, very different. So yeah, you have to understand how the extraterrestrials deal with the human brain and how they force the human brain to forget, as we call it. You're delving into... I didn't realize I had my shoulders up. You're delving into a lot of... okay, that's stress related. You're delving into a lot of different dynamics here. In order to answer that, Val, go back in and listen to some of my other podcasts, because I get into that. I get into how the extraterrestrials deal with the human brain. There are specific kinds of extraterrestrials that can control the human brain via their own... energy. They don't need devices to do it. Specific. I know you ask respectfully. There's no problem. You can ask me anything, truly. As long as it's within a respectful nature. I've been asked a lot of balls out crazy things, and my answer is there's no stupid question. There really is not. You're in a different learning of this information than, say, other people. So I understand that. I understand where you're coming from. I'd be asking the same question, or a bunch of series of questions. So I get it. I get where you're coming from on that. Yeah, Revolution's a different ballgame. Okay. Bradley Kettle or Kedler says Jesus loves you. Yep, you too. And I'm not making light of that. I'm trying to get through everything. Okay, so they can find many other genetics if you get tested, or is that what can't be found yet? It can't be found yet. The ET genetics are not being found. And that's what is upsetting me, because that will confirm pregnancy. Those DNA, that form of genetics, will confirm that female has had extraterrestrial human hybrid pregnancies. And that's what I'm after. Make sense, hon? I'm not trying to be a smartass. I'm not trying to be. I want to be sure that you understand. Jacqueline, yes, Nikki, but that would mean they would need to admit they know new to the public, which is too risky. Yes and no. Depends on which pharmaceutical company, because pharmaceutical companies, do you know how much control they have? Really, seriously, do you know how much control the pharmaceutical industry and companies, conglomerates, have across this planet? It is astronomical. And they do things that they don't talk about because they got their own NDAs. Driving me nuts. Deal with that later. Anyway, excuse me. Sorry, didn't get to the thing in time. Val, how you gonna tell if you test some random girl? It's in the DNA, because when you have a baby, as a human, when you have a human baby, the genetics roam around in the brain of the mother. It roams around throughout the body. They've been able to already scientifically prove that. Sky to limit. Don't bother. Majority of people are in. I'm not going there. Did your mom know you were pregnant at 13? No, she knows now. She's on the other side. Paper bitch. Okay. I'd like to wipe it out. Yeah. Yep. Thank you. I've been watching you for a while. You're really smart and very precise. I believe you and very interested in your. Thank you, Val. I appreciate that. If you've been watching for a while, I hope you've subscribed. Okay, I'm not getting into all of that, Peter. Yes, you understand. Okay, thank you, Christian. I appreciate you telling me. Yeah, we're getting into, so Peter, that's into a whole different subject right now. Yeah, right now they don't show anything. So Nissan Boy, his name is Christian, says, will tests just show anomalies or nothing at all as far as ET-DNA? It's not going to pick up because we do not test for it. We do not have tests that are showing ET genetics. You'd have to know what ET genetics are, and that's where the conundrum comes in. How do you get those ET genetics? So, and it's going to come across as anomalies. It's going to come across as a lot of other things. So that's the distinction that the scientists need to make. And this comes down to scientists figuring this stuff out. Jacqueline, no, I meant, whoops, I gotta pull that back down. What, you silly? Okay, there we go. Okay, now I got it. Jacqueline says, no, I meant about ETs, risky for all the public to know, because the overall public isn't ready, unfortunately. I agree that yes, about pharma and cured, they need to release, yes, cures. Yeah, they need to release it. Yeah, I do. I'm a, wow, just said lost connection and now I'm live again. Okay. What's my birthday? I'm born in February. End of February. Yeah, that's good. 2.5 hour mark. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. Let me get down to the bottom. So this is okay. So let me get being a female in the hybridization programs, being ET hybrid pregnant, does that somehow now make the female some sort of chimera? Since sperm affects the DNA and affects the female body, babies growing inside the female affect the human brain and other systems. Why is it not feasible that an ET pregnancy would do the same thing to a human female? Is there a way to create a blood test to prove this ET genetics? Who would create that test? What company? I already talked about the rest of that. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say. Let's see. Hello, William Page. How you doing? Val Ventura, do they want to take over the planet? No. Are they running the current government? No. Humans run the government. There are certain nefarious ET who are working with government and do have certain controls, but the humans are in control, supposedly. You're born. Happy belated birthday, Sarah or Clara. And like I said, I'm not able to see if that's an I or an L. Okay. Hello, Curtis Hines. How you doing? Sky to limit. You're Pisces. That's why. Makes sense. I'm Pisces too, and connected with you within 4 seconds of this live. Let's hope this is our last lifetime in Earth, as well as Pisces in the last sign. So I'm a double Pisces, and recently I went in and I'm trying to remember the timeline, Robert. Thank you so much for posting that in there. I recently went back in through my birth natal chart and found and didn't register before with me, but I've got 4 Pisces marks in my birth natal chart. And see, I'm getting tired. So the 2 most important, which of course I can't remember right now what they are, but those 2 most important ones are Pisces. So I'm a double Pisces, and I've got 4 Pisces in my chart. So yeah, I'm an extra Pisces. Anyhow, so I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I'm not getting into that question. Sarah, are there really 13 months instead of 12? If so, what would the other sign be? Not getting into all of that. It was a great question, though, or great 2 questions. Anyway, on that note, I hope you all have a good rest of your weekend. I hope you have a fantastic week. And I will be on Anchor Haven, her YouTube podcast. I will post that as soon as I get all the correct information after tonight. I will get all that, and I will post that literally as a post to let you know where it will be. I'll post it in here on my YouTube, and I will post it on my 2 Facebook locations, and try to figure out how to post it on Instagram, because I'm not I'm not good at posting on Instagram, and I had a heck of a time with that. So I have a love-hate relationship with technology. So, woo, always fun. Anyway, so where you can find me? Hello, you found me here. Restore Belief with Nikki, YouTube. Facebook is facebook.com/Nikki, Nikki .Jacobs, JACOBS .376, and that will lead. That's got lots of links underneath my name, or shortly after my name, and one of them will take you to my Nikki Jacobs Psychic Medium Facebook page. So anyway, that's and I'm on Rumble. I talked about this earlier. I'm on Rumble as Restore Belief with Nikki, and also Angels Are Life. I'm also on Instagram as Angels Are Nikki _Angels Are Life. Twitch, although I don't do anything on Twitch other than follow a couple of people, that's Angels Are Life. What am I forgetting? I think that's it. Eventually I'll be on Spotify, iHeart, Apple, and Google, and a couple of others. So anyway, thank you very much for being here, and for listening, and for sticking with me this 2 hours and 39 minutes. And that's it for the night, folks. Take very good care. Yeah, that's it. Adios. Have a good week, hun. Bye, guys. Okay, I gotta find the button again. Every time. Bye, folks.